getting you ready for Sacramento Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket!
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And a very pleasant good morning to you. Welcome inside Golden One Center for the last time here, at least in the regular season. Hopefully not the last time this year as the Kings play host to the Phoenix Suns. Scott Marsh along with the high flyer, Henry Turner. The Kings with a win today secure a play-in home game on Wednesday night. Of course, if they were to lose and Dallas were to lose today in Memphis, the Kings would still be playing at home on Wednesday. We know for sure the Kings are in the play-in game. We know for sure they'll be playing on Wednesday. We just don't know the location of that one after Sacramento losing a game at the buzzer on Friday night, 101-100 to the LA Clippers. It's sixth-man celebration time inside the G1C. There are sixth-man Black Kings T-shirts on every seat. So if you're coming out to the game today, you've got a nice little regular season finale present coming your way. And I tell you what, the arena's looking good today, High Flyer.
You know, Scooter, I like it.
I do too.
I really do. I like it. You know, but I don't know which one I like the best. The whiteout or the blackout.
The whiteout's great for the playoffs.
Yeah. You know what, though? The whiteout looks good at Christmas time.
That's true, too.
When everything in here is like winter white, it looks great.
Yeah. Agreed with you. And I got to think if the Kings do host a game on Wednesday or certainly make it to the playoffs, we'll see those whiteout T-shirts again.
And you know what? Since they did black today, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I would love to see it purple.
Yeah.
Just purple rain.
Exactly. That would be sweet, too. You know, and maybe if we get crazy, the Kings advance somehow in the playoffs, then maybe we'll see that as well. But that's a long ways away right now. The Kings' sole focus is getting a win today versus the Phoenix Suns. And I tell you what, Henry, the way things are setting up today, we know Phoenix, they did win on Friday night, but they played Booker and Beal. Today, they come without Kevin Durant. They come without Bradley Beal. They come without Devin Booker. And if anything, it feels like a setup game for the Kings. We know the way things have gone all season long.
Yeah, you know, we were wondering where we're going to get one of those. We're shutting guys down games. You know, whether you played a good team that already has their spot solidified in the playoffs, or whether you was going to play a team that was already, you know, out of the playoffs, didn't have anything to lose, and going to play a bunch of their young players.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, the one thing I think we can say fairly, if the Kings cannot beat this depleted Sun team today, they really don't deserve to have a home playing game. Now, they still may get it based on what happens in Dallas. Dallas has got a tough game against the Grizz, who are still competing for a playoff spot. Their possibilities are really remote. They don't control their own destiny. We'll go through all the Western Conference standings in just a little bit. But the Kings today certainly have a great chance of taking care of their own business. But as we've seen before, especially in games like at Washington, nothing is a certainty.
Right. I'm not going to call it a win. I'm not going to call it a game. You know, the Kings still have to come out and play basketball. Scott, this is one of these games where I'm going to call it again as a get-right game. Because really, it doesn't matter what happens in this game if the Kings win or lose. The thing about it is that I want to see this team play exactly the way they didn't play the last 3 or 4 games. Be very, very competitive. Win or loss, it makes no difference. I want this team to still be playing in that upward trajectory. Yeah. And if they do that, they should win. But here's the deal, Scooter. They got to go through Dallas regardless.
That's true. Whether it's on the road or here at home.
Whether it's here or there, true. They got to go through Dallas regardless.
Yep.
So bring on the Mavs.
Yep, no question about that. And obviously, I think the Kings are definitely trending in a better way. We saw the road wins at Cleveland, at Detroit. That was extremely encouraging.
Right.
Friday night, they were very competitive against the Clippers team, came back, almost stole that game at the buzzer after being down, went on that late run to get within one, just couldn't come up with the last-minute bucket. But, I mean, that's a Clippers team that's won 7 straight, 9 of 10, 17 of 20.
I mean, didn't feel any type of slight about that game.
No.
You know, and actually I feel good about the game because I'm like, the Kings came out and did exactly what they needed to do. You know, they competed.
Yep.
They gave the Clippers everything they wanted. The Clippers never did feel like they had the game in hand.
No.
It was always a basketball game. And at the end of the day, okay, if you want to throw excuse in there, we don't have Malik Monk.
Right.
You put Malik Monk out there on the floor, you might have a different ball game.
No Jake LaRavia. And Keegan Murray coming back for the first time, and it was good to see Keegan on the floor. He contributed, but it was not 100% Keegan Murray either.
It was Keegan out there defensively trying to do what he does. You know, Keegan has always been the guy on the offensive end to where sometimes he has a good night, sometimes he has an off night. But defensively, he's always been there. He's always been solid. So he came and did what he needed to do.
He contributed, no doubt about it. And again, could just be making more of it because we knew he missed the prior 3 games with the back stiffness. But it didn't seem like he had the same lift. We saw him miss a wide open layup earlier in that game. And it just, to me, maybe reading into it, I didn't feel like he was moving at 100%.
I'm about to say this. Don't blame that all on Keegan. We had 5 missed layups at the bucket.
Yeah, he wasn't the only one.
Sabonis had 3, Keegan had 1, and Keon had 1. They were all within about 2 feet of the basket.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's just great to have Keegan back on the floor. Malik Monk, we know, will not be available for a play-in. He could come back for a first-round playoff series if the Kings were able to survive the play-in. Jake LaRavia, hopefully closer to coming back as well for Sacramento. We'll have a full Ginger and Hammer injury report coming up later on in this show. Of course, it's the final regular season day across the league. Every team is playing like on Friday night. There are some monster games in the Western Conference. 4 through 10 is still up for grabs in the Western Conference. And what a day today is for the league.
Oh, yeah. It make it interesting, Scooter. You know, this is what the play-in does. Because right now, we would actually know what's going on 1 through 8. But when you have these extra two teams, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, that throws a wrinkle in everything. You know, like teams like us, we would be done.
Yep.
This game wouldn't mean nothing.
Absolutely.
No, teams like Dallas.
We would have been talking about the lottery for a few weeks here.
We would have really said 1, 2, 3 Cancun.
Yep.
You know, but it keeps the interest going in the game. That's what that play-in does. For
sure. And it does make it fun. And it's been a good addition for the league as it's kept more teams involved with everything else going on. And it is exciting because every team plays at the same time today, too. So there's no advantage in terms of teams knowing other teams, whether they've won or lost in terms of resting players, everything else. And I like that they schedule it that way.
That's the thing, Scooter. It keeps your attention. It isn't the type of thing to where, you know, okay, we're done. Kick back. No. You got to go until the end. You really have to keep it moving.
You do. The Eastern Conference completely locked up. All 10 seeds are known. So you see a lot of players resting today. That Buck-Detroit game, which could have been for seeding, is not. So you see Giannis resting in Milwaukee. We'll get you caught up on the full scoreboard. As for the games that are upcoming today, there are some good ones here. You've got the Mavs and the Grizz. As we said, if Dallas loses that game, regardless of what happens here today, the Grizzlies will win the Mavs. If the Mavs lose today, the Kings will have the number 9 seed and will be at home on Wednesday night. That's for sure. The Grizzlies still trying to move up. They had that very tough loss against Denver on Friday night. They were up 18 points, looking like they can move themselves into a playoff position. And then the Nuggets came back on that second night of the back-to-back. Memphis traveling to Denver and able to win that game.
Right. You know, I mean, what a wild, wild west we have. Like you said, the East Coast Scooter, pretty much done. Everybody knows where they're going to be. You know, you got some teams resting, some teams getting geared up for the playoff and play-in. We are still locked up and knotted up, and this team still, like, the last game have to go all in because they're trying to make that last little effort push.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. The big game in the Bay, Clips and Warriors.
That one's huge.
Huge.
That one's huge. And you talking about two teams. Well, the Warriors aren't. The Clippers are in. The Clippers are in, but they still trying to get to that fourth spot.
Well, and the Clips could fall to 7 still.
But they're trying to get to that fourth spot so they could basically host.
Yeah, and that's what's so crazy about these standings. There's so many teams that can go from hosting a first-round playoff series to being in the play-in. Same thing with Denver. Denver has all the tiebreakers. If Denver wins today, they are the 4 seed. And that would put everybody else kind of fighting for 5 and 6.
So right now, where is Denver?
Denver's in the 4 seed right now. They win, they keep that spot.
Okay, got you. Now, if they lose, if some other, like, they can drop down to what?
7.
Wow, they can drop out of the playoffs.
Yes, they could.
Woo!
Yeah,
One game means a lot.
it does. It's absolutely amazing what's going on.
Yes.
And for the Clippers, if they win, they could get as high as 4, as low as 7. For the Warriors, their highest possible seed is a 6. Their lowest possible seed is a 7. Timberwolves, they can get as high as 4 today, and they can fall as low as 8.
Ooh.
So they could go from hosting a first-round conference series,
Ooh.
and they can be on the road for a play-in.
Bro,
Isn't that incredible?
I'm telling you, it's crazy. I mean, that's the type of thing that it makes it must-see TV.
Yeah. The only team that doesn't really determine their destiny is Memphis. And for Memphis, they've already been ruled out of the playoffs. So
Okay.
the highest they can get is 7.
Right.
The lowest they can fall is 8.
Okay.
So, Memphis is one of those playing games. As we've talked about, I feel like of all the teams, if you could map it out, and again, doesn't ever play like how you map it out. But if I were the Kings, my path, I would love to see the Kings be at home on Wednesday against Dallas and then going to Memphis on Friday. I take my chances with that one.
Right, and go through Memphis.
Yep.
Okay. I'm with you
I
on that.
feel like that's the team that's cratering the most. They've had the most turmoil latest in the year. I just feel like that could potentially be the best matchup for Sacramento. Not that there's any good matchups, but going to Denver doesn't sound like a lot of fun. Going to Golden State would be tough. I think the fans, that's what the fans would love to see. I'm not saying I wouldn't love to see that either.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I don't care who we got to go through, long as we're there. How about
Exactly.
that?
Sure.
You
We'll
know,
take that
hey,
first and foremost.
If we go to Dallas or Dallas comes here,
Yep.
we knock them off. I don't care where we go. We can go to the moon, Scooter.
True.
That just means we got another NBA basketball game to play.
All very true. All right. Game day, game morning, whatever you want to call it. Certainly not game night. Is underway from the Golden One Center. Kings with a win will be back at home
I was
on
thinking,
Wednesday night.
We didn't done it all. Game day,
We
game
have.
morning, game night.
We haven't done game overnight yet.
That is, we ain't doing overnight.
No, we don't do overnights. All right. Game night, as always, game morning is being brought to you by our good friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out the full line of luxury vehicles at mbsstockton.com. More game day right here. Sacktown Sports, 1140.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
Save $12,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Silverado 1500 LT at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter after all rebates.
And Maida Chevy still has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area.
With $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
5 savings must trade in 2011 or newer. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Made a great deal at Maida.
What if your business could see beyond what is and into what can be? What if you could create more impact in every decision? What if you had a partner as visionary as you are? With Bank of America, you get access to our trusted experts, real-time insights, and digital tools. So whether you run a local shop or a global enterprise, you're backed by business solutions to make every move matter. What would you like the power to do? Find out how at bankofamerica.com/banking for business. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is Henry Turner, aka the High Flyer. I've done a lot of amazing things on the basketball floor, but now it's your turn to be amazing. For more than 55 years, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento has helped out the youth beat many odds. Too many littles, especially boys, are still waiting for volunteers, Big Brothers. Volunteers to spend at least 4 to 6 hours a month with local youth who needs guidance and support. So donate your time to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the greater Sacramento area. Get involved. It's easy as a layup. Call 916-646-9300.
Sacramento, what's up? It's your boy Henry Turner, aka the High Flyer here. Hey, you need something extraordinary? You like soul food? Howard Gumbo is the place for you. Family recipe straight from New Orleans. Gumbo is off the chain, good like mama makes. Check out their $5 bowl of gumbo. It's the best in the business. And when you talk fried catfish, fried snapper, sides, red beans and rice, Cajun rice, and gumbo fries. 2120 Marconi Ave in Sacramento. When you walk up, tell them the High Flyer sent you.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
Welcome back into Game Day. Scott Marsh along with the High Flyer, Henry Turner. Game Day always brought to you by our good friends at Power Business Technology. Experience how the Power family can help you with all your business copier needs. Give them a call today, 1-844-POWER-BZ, or go to powercopiers.com. We appreciate their sponsorship all season long. Kings and Suns, 12:30 tip today. The Kings with a win. They host a playing game on Wednesday. They'll be taking on the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks are in action today as they are in Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. Again, the Grizzlies will be in the other play-in game. They may host. They may have to go on the road. That will all be determined by everything going on today. As we mentioned, the other games in the Western Conference, Clippers and Warriors, that is for all the marbles in Golden State. The Warriors win, and they will be a playoff team. They'll be the number 6 seed. The Lakers, they can sit everybody today, High Flyer. They are the number 3 seed. So how about that? The Warriors win. They get a 6 seed. It means the first round matchup would be Lakers-Warriors.
Cool.
How great would that be?
That would be pretty good.
That would be pretty amazing. There's no doubt about that. I'm sure that would be the marquee matchup, no doubt about it, to see LeBron going against Steph Curry. People would love to see that.
Must-see TV.
Yeah, that is for sure. As we said, Denver controls their destiny the most. If the Nuggets beat the Rockets today, and Houston's the 2 seed, so they're going to play nobody today. They didn't play anybody against the Lakers on Friday. Denver will be the 4 seed, and they will have home court advantage in the first round. And how about the Joker? Right now, he's sitting at 29.8 points per game, 12.8 rebounds, and a little over 10 assists.
Triple-double.
He's got a chance to finish with a 30-point triple-double average on the year.
Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
And still might not win MVP.
I don't think he's going to, right? I think we both agree that SGA is going to be the MVP of the league this year.
Right, SGA pretty much got his number.
I would say so, but it's been an incredible year for the Joker. You can make the case his best year in a Denver uniform, but most likely, yeah, he's going to finish outside in terms of the MVP balloting right now. But the Western Conference, we knew how good it was. We knew how close it was, and it's being proven out today. I
mean, it really is, Scott. You know, and I just think about this. Can you imagine if the Kings would have just won one more, they just pulled out one more game?
Yep.
We could be coming into the arena tonight saying, okay, how many of our guys are going to rest, and how many of these new guys we're going to see from the G League? And, you know, let's get ready and really, you know, put our focus towards Dallas.
Exactly. That would have been great, but it wasn't the case. But Friday night, a really good game here. Obviously, the Clippers were playing for everything. The officiating came into it a little bit. There were some calls that could have gone either way. Didn't go to Kings' direction.
Oh, the officiating was once again terrible again.
Yeah, it was tough.
Some calls they made, I'm like, are you kidding me? The James Harden non-call on the elbow to the rookie, Devin Carter, I'm like, I seen that from here.
Yep.
So you're closer. I know you've seen it.
Yep.
And it was a no call. And then the James Harden push on Keon out of bounds. Had both hands in Keon's back, and they called nothing.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, he just fell out of bounds on his own?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, no doubt. The Kings, the final play, they went to DeMar up top. Didn't have a lot of time. Didn't have a real problem with getting it to DeMar. It wasn't a great look either.
Wasn't a great look. Got to give Ty Lue, salute him, because at the last second, he brought Zubats back in, put Zubats on the ball. As soon as the pass came in, Zubats was standing right there in the path of DeMar to just put a hand up.
Yep. No doubt. And you got to give the Clippers credit. They're playing much better defense right now. Jeff Van Gundy has made a big difference since getting on that coaching staff on the defensive side of the ball.
Ooh-wee. Jeff Van Gundy is barking, looking like young Tibbs out there on the floor. I mean, he is screaming at players of what rotations to make, what decisions to make on the defensive end.
Yeah.
And you know what, Scott? I feel like it like this. By any means necessary, whatever it is that you have to do to get your point across to where your players are playing at that high level, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, and he's got the cred. He obviously proved in New York what he can do.
No doubt. He's got the cred. Nobody's going to question him. Nobody's going to bug back.
No doubt. And obviously Kawhi is looking very menacing right now. He is in full playoff mode.
Did you see that first half? The dude looked like a machine. Everything he put up was bucket, mid-range shots, driving to the basket, one step back three. I mean, he's looking very good.
Yeah, he is. Just kind of following up on Jokic, coming into the game today, he would have to have a monster game to average this triple-double. He's probably not going to get, the 30-point triple-double. He would have to have, according to my calculations, a 47-point game today.
Oh, no, he ain't get that.
Not likely.
I mean, they're not going to even play him that long to get that.
Well, they do need to win. It just depends on how the game goes against Houston, right? So, but your point, the chances aren't likely.
But Houston's not playing anybody.
True.
So Denver probably going to go up by 20 real quick.
You would think so, unless it's the Kings, right? Right,
Scott,
how is Denver playing against teams now?
Scott, you're swinging low, dog. You're swinging in the last game, man. Keep it upbeat. But they're probably going to be up 20 early.
And what I mean is obviously Kings versus Washington, all that stuff, right?
I mean, we know we're capable of doing it.
And we're going to see that today. And it shouldn't be an issue for the Kings to be up for this one, obviously, because we know being at home does mean a lot. This Phoenix team, again, they're not playing anybody today. Their big three are completely done. But the Kings got to take full advantage of it early on today.
But, Scott, I mean, I'm with you. I give you a hard time about it, but I'm with you. I understand exactly what you're saying because we've done it time and time again. Not just the Washington game. When Chicago came in here undermanned, okay?
Yep.
We went to Orlando. Orlando was undermanned. We played so many teams that was quote unquote undermanned and just didn't pull it out.
No doubt. I mean, the Kings got to make this a no doubter today. Get up early and never let it get close. Don't allow a team of youth get confidence early on in this game.
Scott, I really hope it's going to be a textbook game for this for this team, because if it isn't, it's kind of like all the momentum you've been building. If you come out here and lay an egg and don't do it the right way, you're going right back to square one.
Yeah, no doubt. A loss today against a Phoenix team that really isn't playing anybody would be devastating, and especially if Dallas able to pull off that loss or pull off that win on the road at Memphis. The Suns, again, this team next to Philadelphia, certainly in the Western Conference, the most disappointing team, 36-45. And when Kevin Durant went down a couple of weeks ago, that ended all their chances of really getting into the play-in.
You really have to wonder where the Phoenix Suns are as an organization, because at the beginning of the year, you're talking championship. You really are. You're really talking.
Yep.
This team can do something. We have enough pieces to make a run for the championship, and a legitimate run, Scott. Of course, every team says championship. You want a championship, you want a championship. But realistically, come on, you're not there.
Right.
This Phoenix Suns team was a legitimate contender on and off paper. So, yeah, for them to be where they are right now, definite disappointment.
No doubt. A lot of people thought they would get out of the West. They thought they were that good. And any team that's got Durant and Booker certainly has the pedigree to get things done. Mike Budenholzer, the head coach, it'll be interesting to see if his job's in jeopardy.
You know what? I'm looking at it and I'm trying to think about this guy. Why would his job be in jeopardy? First of all, he's a good coach.
Yeah.
But he has been desecrated with injuries. You know, that big three still in 2 years, how many games have they played together?
Not enough.
That's what I'm saying.
That's for sure.
You know, you really hasn't had a chance to really throw it out there and see how it works. So how could your job be in jeopardy? I was like, bro, I'd have done everything I could. I can't fix these guys. I'm not a healer.
Yeah, no doubt. It is the NBA, though. We know that a lot of times the coach.
Somebody got to fall on the knife.
Exactly.
No doubt.
So who knows on that one? Your friend Tim Kempton, the big man, is here, ready to do some Phoenix radio today. You guys go way back.
Oh, yeah. Timmy's my guy, man. Me and Tim had great battles in the NBA and overseas.
Yeah, good dude. All right, Kings and Suns. We'll take the break. When we come back, we'll get you caught up on all the other scores going on. All the Eastern Conference games are underway. Again, all the seeding is determined there, so those games are virtually meaningless. All the Western Conference games will tip off at 12:30 today. We'll get you updated on all of that and a lot more. We'll get you to the Kings Ginger and Hammer injury report as well. It's game day right here, Sacktown Sports 1140.
At SMUD, we power local business with incentives on clean energy equipment, tools to manage electricity usage and save money, tailored solutions from dedicated strategic account advisors, and 50% lower rates than neighboring utilities, all while doing more for the planet with clean energy solutions, savings, reliability, personalized service, clean energy, helping local businesses thrive. That's our clean power promise. Learn more at smud.org.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Is your AC ready for summer? Don't wait for the heat to hit. Weak airflow? Warm air? Strange noises? These are warning signs your AC needs attention. Our skilled technicians offer AC repair services or replacements to keep your family cool all summer long. Don't sweat it. 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning has your back. Here to keep your home cool all summer. Visit onehour.com to schedule today. Financing options available.
Your old HVAC system could be costing you a fortune in energy bills and repair bills. Right now, Sierra Pacific is offering deep discounts, saving homeowners thousands of dollars. Savings that won't be available later this year. But you must act fast. We have to fill openings in our schedule next week. This limited time offer is only available if you book your installation for next week. Don't wait until it's too late. Call Sierra Pacific and lock in your savings today.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air, the guys in the big red trucks.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Spring is in the air and summer is just around the corner. Are your kiddos ready to let their smile shine bright? Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics has a team of expert dentists and orthodontists dedicated to providing your family with the highest quality dental care. Whether it's a routine checkup or you're considering orthodontic options for teeth straightening, Kids Care Dental has you covered. Go to kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com, where you can schedule online. A beautiful, bright smile is just a few clicks away.
Welcome back into game day right here, Sacktown Sports 1140. Scott Marsh along with the high flyer, Henry Turner. Game day being brought to you by the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. If you have a heart of service, you want to do something good in our community, helping a kid who could use an outside volunteer mentor in their lives, a great cause. If you want to do that, check out Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento at bbbs-sac.org. Again, that's bbbs-sac.org for more information right there. Scott Marsh, Henry Turner with you. As we go around the league a little bit, we'll give you our injury report in the next update. How about this out of Portland, Chauncey Billups getting a new multi-year deal up in Portland?
Wow, nice. Nice. You know, he was one of those guys that you would have thought was going to be on the bubble also for a long time, but they finally gave him enough time, Scott. Enough time with some young talent down there to show what he could do as a head coach. Because, you know, when he had Dame and CJ and that other crew, remember, they were kind of talking about championship also.
Sure.
And then that fell all apart. So, you know, it's kind of like that thing we just talked about with Coach Bud. You know, you lose your big three, and now they're looking at talk about, well, your job might be in jeopardy, but wait a minute, you didn't give me a chance to show you what I could do.
Yeah, no doubt. Portland's only 35-46, but they're 22-18 in their last 40 games. They're the third youngest roster this season by playing time. So you look at the development of their players. Denny Advia obviously was a great offseason signing. Shaden Sharp developing. Tumani Kamara also developing. So they've got some good pieces there.
They do. They do. They have a lot of good young core pieces that, you know, Chauncey has had the time to really mold them and build them to the way that he wants them to play. So it's working out.
Yeah, no doubt. So good news for Chauncey Billups there. Some other league news on this last day in the regular season. Cleveland Cavaliers expecting Donovan Mitchell back for the playoffs. That's good. He turned his ankle again. Of course, he did that against Sacramento as well.
Right.
But apparently he will be good enough to come back. The Bulls optimistic Josh Giddey will be able to play in their play-in game. That's important. Also, we know the most important thing going into the playoffs is your health.
That's it. That's it. You know, who you got that's available to play. That's the main thing. If you got your full roster, that gives you a very good chance.
Yeah, for sure. So those are all good things right now. As we said, all the Eastern Conference games are going on right now. We won't bother with the scores because, again, all the seeds are determined 1 through 10. The only mystery is on the Western Conference side is playoffs, play-in positions are still up. And then, of course, home court in the 9-10 game between Sacramento and Dallas. Kings and Suns today. So Phoenix won on Friday night. They beat San Antonio. They did play Booker and Beal in that game.
Mm-hmm.
They're both being shut down today. But prior to that, the Suns had lost 8 straight.
Yeah, I mean, this is a basketball team that, you know, basically is going to be in rebuild mode. You know, don't know, you know, what they're going to do with KD because KD is pretty much up, right?
Yep.
He can move. I think they want to move Bradley Beal. Don't know if they're going to be
He's
able to.
He's got a no trade clause.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to go.
Like I said, don't know if they're going to be able to.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, you know, the guy that you might want to remain on your basketball team is Book. But you got to honestly see how Book feels.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in Phoenix. We know there'll be some change. For the Kings right now, great news for DeMar DeRozan. He moved into the top 25 all-time in scoring on Friday night.
Yep.
As he passed Reggie Miller to get into the top 25 in scoring. So another tremendous accomplishment for a sure Hall of Famer. But he's been struggling with his shot the last couple of games. He was 8 of 26 in the Denver game. He was just 6 of 20 on Friday night against the Clips. He's a veteran, not saying there's any source for concern, but obviously it's been a struggle for him against some of these better teams to get his shot.
Scooter, I can't say DeMar is struggling. I will say this. The two teams we played had long, lengthy guys on him. How do you expect DeMar DeRozan to do what he does? And his game, Scott, is to get to his spot, raise up, and shoot over.
Right.
You could do that with a 2. He could do that with a 3. They had him going up against Aaron Gordon, the guy that's 6'10" and jumps out the gym. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then when you go up against Kawhi Leonard and the rest of these guys, they're long, they're lean. He's not shooting over the top of any of those guys. So that's why his shot isn't there. So I think it's more so they're defended DeMar a hell of a lot better, not just because his shot's off.
Yeah, no doubt. I guess moving forward, what's the Kings' counter for that? When you rely on DeMar so much for scoring, and you're playing teams that are good defensively.
Play him where he belongs, at the 3. When you try to run DeMar at the 4 with guys that are 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", it's not going to work. You're going to have to play DeMar with guys his size, or, 6'7" at the most, to where he might be able to raise up and shoot over the top. Think about it. DeMar has struggled against every guy that has been long and lean against him.
Yep. Zach LaVine, shooting percentage wasn't great on Friday night, but as we've talked about, he put up 23 shots, 12 threes. We like that.
Long as Zach is shooting the basketball and giving himself a chance, I will roll with him. The only problem I have with Zach LaVine is when he comes out of the game playing 32-something odd minutes and shoots 2 for 8. That's when I have a problem.
Yeah, he played 41 minutes on Friday night to that point. Keon was back to being kind of a non-factor offensively on Friday night, just took 2 shots in 33 minutes.
I don't understand it. Scooter, I really don't. Especially on this basketball team. Back in my day, when we ran specific plays for specific guys, and if you only got 2 shots up in 30 minutes, that was acceptable because you're not in the offense. But when you run a read and react offense to where everybody can catch and shoot, like the Sacramento Kings does, and you only get 2 shots as a starter playing 30 minutes, come on, Keon. Even you, I don't care if you go 1 for 10.
Yeah,
you at least give me 10 attempts.
Well, I think the other thing is if you're dishing out a lot of assists, okay, but Keon had 1 assist on Friday night.
That's what I'm saying. You have to give me 10 attempts at the least.
Yeah, so those are some of the things from Friday night. Overall, obviously, the Kings played a good game, made a great run late. They held the Clippers without a field goal in that final 2:58 of the game. They only got 2 free throws from James Harden.
Yeah, it's good things that's being done out there by this basketball team. So, that's why you think, all right, they're still heading in an upward trajectory, so you can roll with that.
Yeah. Can you see a scenario where the Kings are able to win 2 playing games and get into that first round versus Oklahoma City?
If the Kings are playing the way that they have been playing, they're competitive. They can beat anybody.
Yeah.
But if they go back to the Washington, they go back to the Chicago, they go back to the Orlando Kings, well, no, it's 1, 2, 3, Cancun, let's go home.
Yeah. Specifically with the Mavs, we know they're without Kyrie. They're healthy though inside, obviously.
Long
AD's
and
back,
late.
Gafford's back, Lively's back. What do you think about that matchup, home or road on Wednesday night?
Tough because we just got through talking about, why is DeMar struggling? He's down at the 3 spot. Well, when you look at what Dallas has, they have size and they have strength and they have length.
Yeah.
So they have 3 things that really bother this Sacramento Kings team. So it's going to be an uphill slate.
And PJ Washington's healthy too. And of course, we've had him on our Kings killer list for a while.
He's been that guy. Every time he walks into this arena, that's why we might want to go to Dallas, because every time he walks into this arena, his green light comes on and he goes off.
Yeah, no doubt. It is 6th man celebration here today. This crowd deserves it. Win or lose, this is always a great crowd here in Sacramento. And I think the one thing we still haven't quite figured out is why the Kings haven't been a better home team these last few years.
It's a quandary, Scott. It makes you scratch your head because they definitely have been able to go out on the road and manufacture wins. So, you look at this team and say, well, what happens at home?
Yeah, why?
Why you guys can't win at home? You can go out. it's harder to go out on the road and win than it is to win on your home floor.
And this year, they're virtually identical home and road. In fact, if they win today at home, they'll have identical records. They'll be 20-21 at home, 20-21 on the road. The 500 record on the road, obviously, respectable.
Is great.
Yeah,
because it's teams that's in the playoffs that basically want a 500 road trip. But when you flip it and say you guys are only 500 at home, that's where you struggle.
No doubt. And if you look at it, I'm just looking at Western Conference right now. There's only 2 teams that have a worst home record in the Western Conference than the Kings, and that would be the Pels and the Jazz, which you would expect because both of them are hovering right around 20 wins total.
And they're going home.
Yeah.
And they're going home.
But, I mean, the Spurs are 19-20 at home. The Blazers have a winning record at home. The Suns are 24-17 at home.
That's what I'm saying.
They've been terrible on the road.
And they're going home.
Yeah.
So if we could have managed to have a couple of more home wins, we talk about a different scenario.
Yeah, that's something that really needs to be figured out. And obviously, Doug Christie, that's something that's so important to him, assuming he moves forward. And as we know, there's a lot of decisions the Kings are going to have to make in the offseason, starting with Doug Christie and whether he is going to be removed of the title interim head coach to head coach.
Yeah, they have a lot of things they have to do because, we got assistant GMs that's gone. We got the head coach that's gone. We got assistant coaches that's gone. So, it's going to have to be a lot of things that's going to have to be solidified before the Kings come back and play again next year. Yeah,
no doubt. So there's a lot on the line. But right now, the sole focus is about winning today, living to play another game at home on Wednesday night. That's what is in front of the Sacramento Kings right now. This is game night. It's being brought to you by our good friends at Howard Gumbo. The nice thing about Howard Gumbo, they'll be open later on today. Maybe we'll celebrate with some Howard Gumbo after a Kings win today.
Yeah, you can swing on by there and pick you up one. I'm down for it.
What are you going to get?
Come on, man.
I know what you're going to get, but just tell everybody else.
The catfish, man. The 3-piece catfish with the $5 bowl of gumbo to go.
Can't go wrong with that. They're open Thursdays and Fridays 11 to 8. Saturdays, Sundays 2 to 8, 2120 Marconi Avenue. Proud sponsors of Game Night. When we come back, it'll be time for the Ginger and Hammer Injury Report. We'll get you caught up on everybody playing tonight. We'll focus in on this one. Kings and Suns final regular season game of the year for Sacramento here at Golden One Center. Hopefully it will not be the last home game of the season. It's game day right here, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet? RV wins! Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach? RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Save $12,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Silverado 1500 LT at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter after all rebates.
And Maida Chevy still has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area.
With $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
5-year savings must trade in 2011 or newer. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Spring cleaning isn't just for clutter. Let Benjamin Franklin Plumbing take care of your appliances. From water heater replacement or repair to advanced water filtration installation, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing is here to provide a worry-free summer for you and your family. Visit BenjaminFranklinPlumbing.com to schedule. You can count on the punctual plumbers, where your comfort and safety come first. Book now. Visit BenjaminFranklinPlumbing.com.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity. Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered the fastest connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with two people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speed vary. Not guaranteed.
Welcome back into Game Day right here, Sacktown Sports 1140. A beautiful Sunday morning in our capital city. And what a day. You've got the Kings here at the Golden One Center. You have the A's playing over across the Tower Bridge in West Sac. What a day for Sacramento as you have professional basketball and professional baseball going on at the same time. The dream is being lived in our city right now, and it's just awesome. All right, it's time now for our Ginger and Hammer injury report. For that, we go back to our Sacktown studios. Anthony, take it away.
All right, starting with the Phoenix Suns, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Nick Richards are all out. For the Sacramento Kings, Jake LaRavia and Malik Monk are still out.
Is there any update at all on Jake LaRavia? Do we have any feel that he might be available on Wednesday?
I can keep looking, but as for right now, they just keep saying that it's a day-to-day situation from what I've seen recently. But I will update you guys if I find anything.
Yeah, it's interesting. That thumb, which, again, easier said than when you know the total diagnosis on it. You feel like, oh, just tape that up and play with it, because Jake is so missed on the defensive end, but it's not as simple as that. But certainly the Kings have missed Jake LaRavia. There's no doubt about that. And High Flyer, I know the Kings would love to get LaRavia back. They miss him off the bench.
Oh, no doubt, Scooter. I would have to say this. They really don't need him for this game, but you would definitely be able to utilize him when you talk about going up against Dallas in that big front line that they have. Yeah,
no doubt. He's just a great piece who picks up things, especially on that defensive end.
Yeah, being able to, be a high energy guy, a guy that got a high motor, a guy that's going to come in and do some more brunt work, and the thing about it is that, and for him having the size that he has, it really helps the Kings out.
All right, that was our Ginger and Hammer injury report. If you're ever in an injury, just call Gingery. All right, Kings and Suns, as we said, Phoenix treading massive water coming into this one. They've lost 8 of 9. They did beat the Spurs on Friday night, but of course the Spurs in a non-win mode as well. Phoenix definitely, Cancun is in their sights. The Kings are hoping that Golden One Center is still in their sights on Wednesday night. We still know it's a dangerous game. We've talked about it. It feels like way too much, but these are the type of games, even when it comes down to securing a play-in home game, that are just so concerning, because we've seen the Kings struggle in similar situations against teams that are heavily undermanned.
They're scary games, Scott, because, if the Kings was a team that took care of business, we would be in the playoffs now. We would be on a serious playoff run. But, we're a team that has really, been up and down. Consistency hasn't been our number one thing.
Yeah.
We struggle time and time again. So, that's why games like tonight, you sit here and you hold your breath and kind of try to figure out which Sacramento Kings team you're going to get.
Absolutely. On Friday night, we said Keegan came back, just scored 9 points, obviously finding his rhythm. Great to get him going before Wednesday night. It did move Trey Lyles back to the bench. Now, he played close to 30 minutes, so that was fine. But Trey was playing so well in that starting lineup.
He was. I mean, definitely gave the Sacramento Kings a lift. Another guy that, Trey Lyles' basketball IQ, Scott, is very high.
Yeah.
He just don't sit out there and elect to shoot threes. Even though he can, I really think he tries to find an avenue to where the Kings need something different. Everybody on the Kings shoot threes, but I think at some particular point he's like, let me put the ball on the ground and get to the basket.
Yeah.
Instead of me sitting out here waiting for the kick out three, I'm going to cut to the basket and get a dunk at the rim.
Yeah, no doubt. Some movement would help. All right, final few minutes here. We know we'll be seeing each other again on Wednesday. But, it is the end of the regular season. Kings at 39-42. Just your initial assessment of this season. How would you characterize it?
It hasn't been a positive one, I can tell you that. I think they underperformed. I honestly think this team really underperformed. And you have to really put it in perspective, Scooter. You lose De'Aaron Fox.
Yep.
You lose a big piece, your number one guy.
Yep.
And, things were stagnated for a long time.
Yep.
So you lose your head coach.
And you've been playing without Malik for a while, too,
right.
on top of
it.
it.
And you've been playing without Malik. You've had so many things happen. I mean, you can look at it and say, okay, I'll give the Kings a C- for bouncing back. But they definitely haven't had a positive season.
It's definitely been bumpy, no doubt about it. And I didn't mean to cut you off about Mike Brown. Were you going to say any more there?
No, I'm just saying, Mike Brown leaves and, they made big-time changes. So you can't say, yes, we've had a positive season with everything that is going on with this basketball.
In your mind, if the Kings were able to win a couple of playing games, get to the first round of the playoffs, take in Oklahoma City, would that change how you feel about it?
Most definitely. If they can win 2 more games and get to the playoffs, I don't care if they get swept by OKC. Whoever comes in at the A spot pretty much is going to get swept by OKC. But at the end of the day, you got to where you wanted to be, and that was another trip to the playoffs.
No doubt, and that's what's great about it. I mean, the Kings' destiny is still right in front of them here, despite everything.
Right. It's crazy. 2 games can still put you from a negative look from this team to a positive look saying, okay, we still were able, even if it came down to the last game, we were able to accomplish what we wanted to do.
Any highlights that you felt or things that have really stood out about this Kings team this year?
Highlights are far and few in between, Scott, because, we are where we are. But I would say moving Malik Monk into the starting lineup probably was the biggest one.
Yeah, it certainly jump-started things for Sacramento.
It did. It really did.
Obviously, we got to see Devin Carter after missing a good portion of the season early on. I think he's done some good things.
I think he's a welcome fit for this team. He isn't the prototypical point guard, but he's a guy that can come out and really help you on this team. Defensively, the dude don't need no help. Defensively, he can play by himself.
Yeah.
It's just his offensive game to where you look at him and say, okay, scoring or facilitator, that's still in question.
No doubt. It's going to be a very interesting offseason for the Kings. As we know, there's a lot of uncertainty as to where they may be moving forward. But right now, none of that matters. They got to find a way to get a W today.
Got to find a way to get a W, bro.
They've got a great opportunity against the Phoenix Suns, a team that really has come in here and kind of laid things down for the year. Again, no Kevin Durant, no Devin Booker, no Bradley Beal. That's going to do it for Game Day. Henry, it's been a pleasure working with you all season long. It's so great to be able to come out to Golden One Center. We're back in our Sacktown studios and just talk Kings basketball. It's been a privilege.
Always, Scooter. You know how we get down. You're my brother from another mother, man.
Yeah, and we'll be doing it on Wednesday. You may be in Dallas and maybe in the studio. We may be both out here. Who knows? But it'll be fun to talk in the play, and hopefully it'll be out of Golden One Center.
That's right. We'll be able to get it in.
All right, coming up next, Kings Live pregame. Jason Ross will be in with the high flyer for that. It's a 12:30 tip. Every team in the Western Conference tipping off at the same time today. So much on the line as playoff play-in spots still yet to be determined. The Kings trying to get a home game on Wednesday, and then they'll figure out who they would play if they can win that game against the Mavericks. Keep it tuned here all afternoon long. We've got you covered. The G-Man with the call today. Kings and Suns. Hopefully the Kings can get it done today. Thanks for listening to Game Day. We got you covered right here. Sacktown Sports, 1140. Have a great day, everyone.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley.